Today we're going to be reading the chapters Oops to Save. While we're reading these chapters, we're going to be we should have our reading journals open to the deciphering vocabulary page. And I'll go ahead and show you guys what that looks like real quick. It should be this page that you guys did in your journals yesterday. And we're going to be looking for those three words that we said we were going to be looking for. So the word inferior, disapproval, and low me. And they're going to be highlighted inside your slides. So you don't have to worry about you missed them while you were reading. And when we get to them, we're going to practice these three different ways of deciphering vocabulary. So we're going to practice looking it up in the dictionary. We're going to practice breaking it up into word parts. And we're going to practice using context clues. There's a few other words that are highlighted in your text, and we're going to practice using context clues for those since that's what we're working on this week. Yesterday, we left off when Ivan finally got to go outside, and we talked about the author writes those words, just one word period, grass, tree, sky, because it was really dramatic for Ivan. He hasn't been outside in 20-something years. Oops. I sniff, approach, strut a bit, but the others don't welcome me. They have sharp teeth and loud voices. Did I do something wrong? Kinyani chases me. She throws a stick at me. She corners me. I know that she's testing me to see if I'm a true silverback, one who can protect her family. I cower and hide my eyes. Maya lets me back into my cage. So you'll see in this chapter, I highlighted the word cower. We can use some clues to see what that word means, okay? So let's look at the sentences around it. We know the others don't welcome him, and he says they have sharp teeth and loud voices. So we can assume that he's probably scared of them, right? Or he's feeling nervous right now. Kinyani, the gorilla that he was admiring, throws a stick at him and corners him. She knows that they're testing him. He says, I cower and hide my eyes. And so we have to think about what would be a reason that he hides his eyes right here. He's probably scared, right? So we know cower is going to be a word that's an action, and it probably has to do with being scared, okay? What it was like. I lie awake and try to remember what it was like being a gorilla. How did we move? How did we touch? How did we know who was boss? I try to think past the babies and the motorbikes and the popcorn and the short pants. I try to imagine Ivan as he might have been. Pretending. A juvenile male approaches. He's eyeing my food hungrily. I imagine a different Ivan, my father's son. I grumble and swat and swagger. I beat my chest till the whole world hears. Kinyani watches, and so do the others. I move toward the young upstart, and he retreats, almost as if he believes I'm the silverback I'm pretending to be. So in this chapter, I've highlighted the word retreats, right? I move toward the young upstart, and he retreats. So we know it's going to be an action, right? And we have a clue right here. Almost as if he believes I'm the silverback I'm pretending to be. So if he believes that Ivan's the silverback, it means he was probably really scared of him, right? He knows that he shouldn't mess with him. He needs to respect him. So we know the word retreats is an action that's going to show that he respects him, he's scared of him, moving away from him. Nest. I'm making a nest on the ground. It isn't a true jungle nest. The leaves are inferior, and the sticks are brittle. They snap when I weave them into place. The others watch, grunting their disapproval. Too small, too flimsy, an ugly thing to see. When I climb into the leafy cradle, it's like floating on a treetop mist. So I'm going to go ahead and move our journal up here, and we're going to go ahead and do those two words. We have the word inferior and disapproval. And we'll start with disapproval. That's the one that we're going to do with our word parts. So we're going to break up this word into our root word and the prefix and the suffix. Okay, so the root word in disapproval is going to be approve. Okay, and then we have the prefix dis, and we have the suffix al. Okay, So disapprove all. So the root word by itself, approve, we want to think about what that means. Okay. So to approve means to like something, to think that it's good. Okay, we know the prefix dis means not, and this suffix right here just makes something a noun. Okay, so we know that the word disapproval means to not approve, and it's a noun. Okay, disapproval is not approving something. Okay, so now it means to not like something, to not like or think it's good. All right, the second word we want to look at is going to be our context clues one, which is, oh no, inferior. That's the one that we're going to look up in the dictionary. Now, right here and right here, we have spaces for our guide words. Unfortunately, we don't have a real dictionary. We don't have physical dictionaries with us. So I just want to let you know what guide words are. When you're looking through a dictionary, you have a word on the top left page right here and on the top right of this page right here. And they are the very first word on the page and the very last word on the page. So when you're looking for a word, you're flipping through, these guide words help guide you. They help you know if the word can possibly be on there. So if this starts with an IN, we know that it's going to be on this page right here when we're flipping through. Okay. Usually it will tell us how to separate the syllables. Okay. And we can do this on our computer. We've all downloaded that extension, the dictionary one. So let's go ahead and put it in here so we can fill it out. Okay. The first thing that we want to put is the syllabication, which is separating it by syllables. And that's going to be this one right here. Okay. We have in, be, re, er. Okay. So 4 different syllables. So we're going to put that in the syllabication. Okay. Right here. In, be, re, er. And for right now, we're going to skip the pronunciation because we haven't gone over those symbols. Okay, and let's put a definition in there. Okay, of low standard or quality. Okay, low rank, status, or quality. All right, so this is the one that we're going to do. Let's simplify it. We're just going to put low quality. Okay, so it's not a quality nest he made. He hasn't done that in a really long time. We also could have used context clues for that one. When we look at the story, right, we said it means low quality. When we look at it, he said the sticks are brittle. They snap when I weave them into place. So they're not quality supplies that he has even to make his nest. Maya wants me to go back to my cage. I can tell because she is tempting me toward the door with a trail of tiny marshmallows. I try to ignore her. I don't want to leave the outside. It's a cloudless sky, and I've found just the right spot for a nap. But I relent when she adds yogurt raisins to the trail. She knows my weakness all too well. In the glass cage, the TV is on. It's another nature show, jerky and unfocused. I expect to see gorillas, but none appear. I hear a shrill sound, like a toy trumpet. My heart quickens. I rush close to the screen, and there she is, Ruby. She's rolling in a lovely pool of mud with 2 other young elephants. Another elephant approaches. She towers over Ruby. She strokes Ruby, nudges her. She makes soft noises. They stand side by side, just the way Stella and Ruby used to. Their trunks entwine. I see something new in Ruby's eyes, and I know what it is. It's joy. I watch the whole thing, and then Maya plays it again for me, and again. At last, she turns off the TV and carries it out of the cage. I put my hand to the glass. Maya looks over. Thank you, I try to say with my eyes. Thank you. It. Kinyani ambles toward me. She taps me on the shoulder and Knuckle runs away. I watch her, arms crossed over my chest. I'm careful not to make a sound. I'm not sure what we're doing. She ambles back, shoves at me, dashes past, and then I realize what's happening. We're playing. We're playing tag, and I'm it. Romance. Make eye contact. Show your form. Strut. Grunt. Throw a stick. Grunt some more. Make some moves. Romance is hard work. It looks so easy on TV. I'm not sure I will ever get the hang of it. More about romance. I wish Bob were here. I could use some advice. I try to recall the romance movies we watched together. I remember the togging, the hugging, the face licking. I'm not very good at this, but it's fun trying. Grooming. Is there anything sweeter than the touch of another as she pulls a dead bug from your fur? Talk. Gorillas aren't chatty, like humans, prone to gossip and bad jokes. But now and again, we swap a story under the sun. One day it's my turn. I tell my troop about Mac and Ruby and Bob and Stella and Julia and George, about my mother and father and sister. When I'm done, they look away, silent. Kinyani moves closer. Her shoulder brushes mine, and we let the sun soak into our fur together. The top of the hill. I've explored every nook and cranny of this place, except for a hill at the far end where workers have been repairing a wall. They're finally gone. They've left behind fresh white brick and a mound of black dirt, while the others laze in the morning sun. I want to explore the hilltop. They've been there before, and I have not. Everything is still fresh to my eyes. I take my time going uphill, savoring the feel of grass on my knuckles. The breeze carries the shouts of children and the drowsy hum of bumblebees. Near the top of the hill is a low-limbed tree, the kind my sister would have loved. The wall is endless, clean and white. I stretch far down to the habitats beyond my own. It's high and wide, carefully built to keep us in and others out. This is, after all, still a cage. It rained last night, and the pile of dirt is soft to the touch. I scoop up a handful and breathe in the loamy smell. It's a rich brown color, heavy and cool in my palm, and the wall waits like an endless black billboard. So in this chapter, we have the last word that we're going to put inside our journal, and this is the one that we're using context clues for. So let's go ahead and read that sentence again. It rained last night, and the pile of dirt is soft to the touch. I scoop up a handful and breathe in the loamy smell. Okay, so we know the word loamy is describing the smell. So we want to think about what he's smelling. Over here, we have underlined that what he scooped up was from a pile of dirt, and it rained last night. So we can assume that the word loamy is describing the smell of wet dirt. So let's go ahead and put that inside of our journals. Okay. All right, so we're in this web, what we're going to put here are our different clues. Okay, we have the clue that it rained last night. We have the clue that it's a pile of dirt. He says it's soft to the touch. So we know it's probably like a muddy pile of dirt. Okay, and he also says he breathed it in. So we know it's describing the smell. Okay. Sometimes you'll have synonyms and antonyms to help you. Right here, I guess we could put the word dirt as a synonym because loam is another word for dirt. And right here, we're going to write the sentence that we got that from. I scoop up A handful. And breathe in the loamy smell. The wall. It's a big wall, but it's a big pile of dirt. And I'm a big artist. I slap handfuls of mud on the warm cement. I make a handprint. I tap my nose with a muddy finger. I make a nose print. I slide my palms up and down. The mud is thick and hard to use, but I keep moving and scooping and spreading. I don't know what I'm making and I don't care. I make swoops and swirls and thick lines, figures and shapes, light and shadow. I'm an artist at work. When I'm done, I step back to admire my work. But it's a large canvas and I'd like to get a better view. I go to the thick limb tree and grab the lowest branch. I try to swing my legs. I land hard. I'm too big to climb, I suppose. I try again anyway, and this time I pull myself onto the first limb, gasping for breath. One more limb, two, and I can't go any further. Perched halfway up the tree, I see my troop still dozing contentedly. I take in the wall, splattered and splashed with mud. Not much color, but lots of movement. I like it. It feels dreamy and wild, like something Julia might have made. From my seat in the tree, I can see beyond the wall. I see giraffes and hippos. I see deer with legs like delicate twigs. I see a bear snoozing in a hollow log. I see elephants. Safe. She's far away, belly deep in tall grass, with others by her side. Ruby. She's here, Stella, I whisper. Ruby's safe, just like I promised. I call to Ruby, but the wind tugs at my words, and I know she'll never hear me. Still, Ruby pauses for a second, her ears spread wide like tiny sails. Then, with lumbering grace, she moves on through the grass.